Hi, everybody. Karen Roby and Kristen Lotze here for Tech Republic. We're talking and writing about artificial intelligence, Kristen, all of the time as more and more companies are starting to use AI, in so many different ways. And I think this is great. You put together a list of 8 books, about AI, focused on AI, that would be great reads here. So I think maybe the best way to start is just highlight a couple of them that really stood out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. There, like you said, everyone is, writing about AI these days and the influence it has and how companies are using it differently. So, there were definitely a lot of books to choose from. Just a few on the list that I wrote, I would say the book Artificial Intelligence by Melanie Mitchell. The reason I say that one stands out a little bit is that it just asks a lot of really important questions about AI, such as, how intelligent are the best AI programs? How do they work? What can they actually do? And when do they fail? And also, how human-like do we expect them to become? How soon do we need to worry about them surpassing us? So just some important questions to consider, as the technology continues to advance. Another title that I would point out is The AI Advantage by Thomas Davenport, which he explains what AI technologies are currently available, but he also, explains how companies can use them to get a competitive edge. So that's, for business needs, that's actually, a good read, and hopefully provides a lot of information. And lastly, I would say The Big Nine by Amy Webb. This one looks at how the foundations of AI are broken all the way from, people working on the system to the actual technology itself. So that one to me seems like it would be a really interesting read. So I thought to include, that one on the list as well.
Yeah, well, there's so many layers, of course, when it comes to AI, and there's so many benefits to tout, of course, but then there's a lot of things, bias in AI and
For
the
sure.
scarier parts of it that some people don't like to talk about. But so
Absolutely.
to answer those questions or questions to ask, like you said in there, and that first one are so important. And because there are so many layers to AI and so many different perspectives and analysis and opinions, how did you even begin to narrow this list down?
Yeah, that's again, anytime I do a, book recommendation list, it's always a little bit tough to find the right combination of titles. It's like I said, there are thousands of these books available. The way I try to look at it, by finding ones that are very, as current as possible. That's not to say that all of these titles are going to be, within the last year or two, but keeping current is very important in the tech world. I mean, things change all the time. So something even from 2017 could potentially, be updated or outdated. So trying to find, books that are relevant to the time is important. Also trying to find really reputable authors is a big one. People who are experts in the field or who have worked in the field for, a long time and know a lot about the technology itself. So, there's a number of factors that go into it, but, that just is a couple to kind of, figure out where to start with, whether or not it's this list or someone searching on their own. There's a lot of, different things to consider.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not our only list on Tech Republic. We cover all kinds of subjects, and you specifically, you put a lot of these lists together.
I have, yes. I've done some lists on, books that will help companies improve workplace diversity and inclusion, and career books for developers, leadership books that, every manager should read, as well as leadership books that have been recommended by tech titans and innovators. So there's, it kind of spans a pretty wide field there, but it's hopefully helpful and informative to the reader and gets people back into books.
Yep, all of that and much more. And of course, the full list of 8 books on AI that you need to read can all be found on Tech Republic. Thanks for watching, everybody.